Hey guys, James Erickson here of Erickson Gaming. It's like tomorrow we got some pretty juicy stuff coming to Splatoon 2. We were gonna make a Splatoon 2 update video earlier, but I've got some family in town. We've been hanging out with them, so I haven't had a lot of time. It's Thanksgiving weekend, so we got frickin' Splatoon 2 update coming, Thanksgiving coming, some more stuff in December for Splatoon 2 coming, some Christmas time. Anyways, as most of you probably know, Splatoon 2, Nintendo just released a update video for Splatoon 2. Looks like they're adding a lot of stuff in here, and I want to go through the video and the patch notes and kind of share my thoughts on everything that's coming out, and then kind of go through the details of some other things we see in the trailer but they don't talk about yet, including the Gluga dualies, as we've seen, and then the Hydra is coming back. I'll also kind of go through this new game mode, how to play it, and stuff like that. Okay. Let's go right through this video first. We start off the video showing off some new hairstyles. I gotta be honest with you guys, I didn't care for really any of these hairstyles. I know some of you did like some of these, but I don't really care. I don't know. I just thought they were weird looking. The ponytail one is okay when it's in the hat. This one right here for the girl Inkling, I thought probably out of all of them was my favorite. I don't really care for the spiky haired one for the Inkling. And this bowl cut is super weird in my opinion, but whatever. Hey, the reason I give my opinions on these is because I actually really did like the hairstyles that came out with the game for the boys and the girls. And then these ones come out. I know some people like them, but for me personally, they just look odd. Anyways, moving on, MakoMart, a new map. Now this is super unique, super different from the other maps we've had in Splatoon 2 so far. You don't really get a good layout of it right here, but it is super cool looking, and I am excited to see how this plays out. Hopefully it's not too similar to a lot of the other maps in Splatoon 2. I know there have been people complaining that a lot of the maps, though they look sort of different, they have kind of the same layout for most of them. Anyways, but I hope this one doesn't, and I can't imagine it would because it's kind of like a grocery store. Alright guys, now in this picture right here, we get to see at least two new weapons here. We see the Hydra coming back. I know everyone's been waiting for the Hydra to come back. Even those who don't care about it have been waiting for this thing to come back. And for you guys who don't know what a Hydra is, it shoots farther than a heavy splatling, a longer duration than a heavy splatling, but the charge time is also longer. You could almost compare this to the E-liter of heavy splatlings. And then over here, they haven't said anything about this, but we have had data miners in the past already reveal that the Gluga guns, kind of like a glue guns, get it? The Gluga guns, the Gluga dualies, sorry, are revealed here. I'm not sure if they're coming out tomorrow or if they'll be coming in December. After going through the data mine information, let me kind of tell you what the Gluga guns are about real quick. The Gluga guns are 2-shot kills, so I'm sure they don't shoot very fast. But apparently they do 76 damage per shot. Throughout the entire video, we get to see examples of new gear coming. Around 140 pieces of gear are being added tomorrow, which is a pretty good amount of gear there. And then we get this new weapon, the Squeezer. This weapon was also in the data mined information from a couple months ago. And from the notes, I thought it was gonna be almost a separate class, but from looking at this video and also kind of going over the notes again, it just looks like it's gonna be part of the shooter class, you know, the splatter shot or the jet squelcher, things like that. This gun is also a 2-shot kill. If I had to guess, I wonder if it has better accuracy than the 52 or the 96. It's really hard to say. If it fits in the category of the 96 gal and the 52 gal, then I'm very interested to see how this shoots. Like, because we only see the shots coming out of the gun, but we don't see where they're going or, you know, exactly how accurate they are. So if they are 2-shot kill weapons, these will be very interesting to see how they'll be played out, since we already have the 52 gal and the 96 gal. I don't know. We'll have to see. Another thing they're adding, apparently this is an Amiibo feature. You can take photos of your Inklings around different stages of Splatoon 2, holding their weapons. And this is a really good thing to add. I know a lot of people were saying that The Splatoon 2 Amiibo features didn't really add much to the Splatoon 2 experience. They weren't as useful as they were in Splatoon 1. And I think this is a really cool feature that they could add, because now, you know, instead of just taking a few pictures in different poses in Inkopolis Square, now you can use, as it would seem, any stage. You can be holding weapons. There's a lot of variations and pictures and stuff that you can take with this, and I thought it was a really cool added feature to the Amiibos. For those of you who don't know, this new stage is called Schellendorf Institute. And now, during the time they show off this new map, this is where they show off the new ranked Splatoon 2 mode. Many of us have been waiting for a new mode, and here it is. And the name of this mode is called Clam Blitz. And reading off some of the notes here on the Splatoon.nintendo.com, they kind of go into detail of what you do here. I'll just read it real quick. It says, in Clam Blitz, competing Inklings are tasked with collecting clams scattered around the stage. After one is picked up, the clam follows the player. The objective is to throw the clam into the basket near the opponent's base. The first team to score 100 points wins. But of course, this being the fiercely competitive world of Splatoon 2, things are not as easy as they seem. The baskets are protected by a barrier, which must be destroyed first. After collecting 10 clams, the player will earn a power clam, and I'm assuming that it's this football right here. The power clam turns into a football filled with clams. The superpowered clams are the key to breaking the barrier, so strategy will definitely be involved, in which clams are used to destroy the barrier and which are used to earn points. Not to mention the extra satisfying opportunity to steal opponents' clams by splatting them. So there's a little information on this new game mode. I'm sure hoping that this game mode will surely fit in with the other three, being Tower Control, Splat Zones, and Rainmaker. Comparing this one to those, this one is definitely different. This is the first time in a game mode where we will have the opportunity to find collectibles around the map and have them be a key point of the game mode. Now my question is, and because it's ranked, the ranked game modes always need to be fair, and so I'm curious as to how they spread the golden clams around the map. Like, are they randomly generated, or are there places where the clams will always spawn in the beginning of the match, so that when the match begins, everyone knows where the clams are, you know, and there could be places where people will camp and kind of guard where some clams are, so they'll take out the enemy and then they'll take the clams for themselves. I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping this will be a good one. I mean, like I said, it's definitely different, and it looks really cool. It looks like it should be fun. It seems like it's gonna bring a new feeling to Splatoon 2 because of how different this game mode is, especially with the collectibles, and then you splat enemies to collect their golden clams. So I don't know. I think this kind of will be a fresh new experience in the Splatoon franchise. All right, and then we see two returning stages, and I've got to tell you guys, Walleye Warehouse and Arowana Mall, they were probably my top two favorite maps from Splatoon 1. I had a lot of favorite maps from Splatoon 1. Camp Triggerfish included, and I hope they bring that back in the future. But Arowana Wall I loved. In the beginning of Splatoon 1, I didn't care for it that much because of, you guys know how steep that frickin' hill is in the middle of Arowana Wall. But I just grew to love it, and I loved playing at it. I love Splat Zones over there. Rainmaker was super fun. I love Tower Control. I love how the tower I don't know how they'll change the ranked modes in this game. I hope they don't change them much. I've already seen a couple different changes in the layout of Arowana Mall, probably for the better, but I love playing every game mode at Arowana Mall. And the same I would have to say for Walleye Warehouse. This was definitely one of my faves, and maybe it's the weird nostalgia-esque, I don't know if I can even say that, because Walleye Warehouse was one of the first maps you play before Splatoon 1 was even released. During the test fires, Walleye Warehouse was one of the first maps, along with Salt Spray Rig, that you played. And that's where my first experience with Splatoon was, and that was when I fell in love with Splatoon, was during the Splatoon 1 test fires before the game was released. And so maybe that's why it has a special place in my heart. But I love these maps. I'm so glad they're bringing them back for Splatoon 2. While they're showing off Walleye Warehouse, we get to see a new Brella weapon. It looks a little smaller. I wonder if it'll shoot faster, and you'll be a little more mobile than you are with the regular Splat Brella. That's about all they showed in the video, which is a good amount of stuff. But there are even more things coming very soon. And one of those things is a new map for Salmon Run. Salmon Run, in my opinion, has been a lot of fun. I know there are tons. I think the majority of people who play Splatoon 2 love Salmon Run. There are some who, you know, find it, or they're just not interested in it, and that's fine. But Salmon Run has been pretty freaking awesome. Here's a picture of the new map, Salmonid Smokeyard. Before I go on to some of the small stuff, I'll just say that all this stuff apparently will be coming midnight tomorrow, or midnight the 24th. So I think I'd said tomorrow earlier in this video, but what I really mean is, because I for some reason thought it was the 23rd. I'm losing track of what day it is. But tomorrow, perhaps at midnight, they'll be adding a lot of this stuff that I'm about to mention. MakoMart will be available. The update will download all the maps, but we won't be able, all the maps won't be playable until the next couple of weeks. Schellendorf Institute, Walleye Warehouse, and Arowana Mall will be in the rotation as the weeks go on. We'll get the new Salmon Run stage. As it says here, approximately 140 pieces of gear are being added to Splatoon 2. Shoes, headgear, clothing, some even returning from the Splatoon 1 game, so that's cool. New music will be added. That's always a fun time. Something they didn't mention in the video was that there will be a higher level cap, and I think there have been many people who have really wanted this, and that's cool. To me, when I look at the level in Splatoon, it just shows how long you've been playing, how much experience you have in the game to some extent. So that's cool. You know, it keeps going, and then once you get to 99, you can talk to Judd, and he'll kind of reset your level back to 1, but there'll be a star next to it so that people know you've hit, you know, 99, and then you can keep moving on from there. Also, they're finally adding the ability to swap gear and weapon during Turf War and solo ranked battles, and many people, including myself, have been wanting this. To me, it just doesn't make sense not to allow this. Another small thing they're adding, but they haven't said anywhere, they've kind of tweeted pictures of this. They'll be adding, as it would seem, 2 new styles of pants or shorts, kind of like athletic shorts and athletic pants. So, kind of cool. A little bit interesting there. So that all right there is mostly what's coming to Splatoon 2 in November, or on Friday. We'll be getting a lot of that stuff, but then the Clam Blitz will be coming in an update in December, so I wonder if they'll be adding some more stuff then. So be on the lookout for MakoMart this Friday. New gear, new music, most likely a new weapon, because they normally do that on Fridays. And the new Salmon Run stage. It'll be a good day for Splatoon 2 on Friday. There'll be a lot of things coming. Subscribe, please, to Erickson Gaming for more on Splatoon 2 and Nintendo Switch stuff, and some other things we do. But with that, I hope to see you guys on the Splatoon 2 battlefield. Bye-bye.